The Queen looked sprightly and feels great, according to royal expert Russell Myers. Quelling fears Her Majesty is still struggling with her health. Her Majesty the Queen became the first British monarch to celebrate a Platinum Jubilee this month, marking 70 years of service to the UK and its people. To celebrate the unprecedented anniversary, a number of events and initiatives are set to take place throughout the year and across the country. They will culminate at a 4-day bank holiday weekend from June 2 to June 5. Initiatives like the Queen's Green Canopy and the Platinum Pudding competition will create a lasting reminder of the Queen's Jubilee, while the Queen's private estates will also join in with special Jubilee-themed events offering more opportunities for members of the public to celebrate the historic milestone. Fears over the Queen's health emerged just before Christmas last year after she was told to rest and refrain from her usually busy schedule. Even before this, she had significantly reduced her public appearances and mostly resided at Windsor Castle. In recent weeks, however, having recuperated, the monarch has been spotted out and about in the community, most notably earlier this month when she met with members of the Women's Institute and local Norfolk charities on the eve of her accession day, February 6. Clad in a stunning powder blue Angela Kelly dress adorned with a white flower pattern as she beamed at the reception in the Sandringham Ballroom, the Queen appeared in good spirits and joked with guests while cutting into a cake especially made to mark the occasion. Russell Myers, speaking during the podcast, Pod Save the Queen, which is currently hosted by Zoe Forsey, noted that her appearance quashed any suggestions that her health was ailing. He said, "She looked very well, she looked very sprightly. It was the day before when she was opening some of the artifacts from previous jubilees, when she was sitting in the chair and the dog came in. She was sitting down, so there were a few murmurs about the Queen not being up and about, that maybe she was struggling even though she looked quite well. But the next day when she went into that engagement, meeting people from the local Sandringham community, she looked very, very sprightly, which is of course much welcome news because of her health issues in the past." He claimed that sources at the palace told him that the Queen feels great following advice from her doctor late last year. He added, "They say, she's taken on board the doctor's orders, needed to have that rest before and after Christmas, and we will be likely to see her at a raft of events in March. There will be a Commonwealth Day, the lead up to the Duke of Edinburgh's memorial service where many people will turn out. There is a lot to look forward to. Not that there's a 3-line whip, or that they're saying she's definitely going to be there. She's expected and intending to be at these events throughout March." The podcast hosts noted that the Tea Party engagement was her first in about 3 months, as she was not doing investitures anymore, with Prince Charles and Prince William taking that over. Mr. Myers said, "And again, we had seen her a little bit out and about near Sandringham. She hadn't been pictured walking, she'd pictured in the car being driven, so she hadn't been walking the dogs or pictured walking them at least." Her latest audience came after it emerged Prince Andrew and Ms. Giuffre, who had launched a lawsuit against the Duke of York in August last year, reached a settlement in principle. According to documents jointly submitted by Andrew and Ms. Giuffre's lawyers to the U.S. District Court, the Duke will make a substantial donation to Ms. Giuffre's charity in support of victims' rights. The papers also briefly mention the terms of the agreement between Andrew and Ms. Giuffre, adding the sum he is to fork out won't be disclosed. Prince Andrew, who firmly denies any wrongdoing regarding Ms. Giuffre's allegations against him, also said to regret his association with late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The document read, "Prince Andrew regrets his association with Epstein, and commends the bravery of Ms. Giuffre and other survivors in standing up for themselves and others. He pledges to demonstrate his regret for his association with Epstein by supporting the fight against the evils of sex trafficking, and by supporting its victims." Today's engagement by the Queen also was her first in-person audience since she marked the historic 70th anniversary of her accession day on February 6. On the day before, the monarch had hosted a reception at Sandringham House for local charities and fellow members of the Norfolk branch of the Women's Institute. This in-person audience at Windsor Castle also dismissed fears the monarch may have caught COVID from her son Prince Charles.